Alright, gamers, welcome back. World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore Ironman Adventures, episode 207, episode 57 on the Dwarven Paladin. At least that's what I think we're on. Let me do a quick double check. Yes, 57. Alright. Let's jump back in, shall we? We were finishing up some of the loose ends in Ashenvale, in Darkshire, Dusk, what is it called? Dark Shore. There's Dark Shore and Darkshire. Both very, very close to each other. We need to head back up here to Shadow Strike, finish that quest. We need to go back to Darnassus, finish this quest. We did get a citrine last time we played, finally, so we can actually make our helmet whenever I go back to town next. And I kind of want to do that, but I want to finish up the last of our business here before I leave. So, we'll go talk to Ileana real quick, turn in Satyr Slaying, and then we're going to run down here to Krolg, use Dartol's Rod, and turn that in. I think we'll have one more quest chain that we can do on that before we have to... I think we have to abandon the final quest. And then we have some stuff up here to finish up the Tower of Althalax quest, so... Then we'll be heading back to Ironforge, because we're gonna go, well... Yeah, I think we'll do Ironforge, stop in real quick, craft, go back to Menethil, catch the boat to Theramore, turn these quests in but not take any more, and then fly to Teneris, run up to Thousand Needles, and start working on all of these quests in Thousand Needles, so... At this point of the game, we're kind of like running all over the place. There's a lot of zones that we need to do, and I'm just trying to like track what's the best way to do them. At this point, I think next up has got to be Thousand Needles before we out-level it. We should at least get A level, if not 2. I might have got myself stuck here. No way. Yeah, we should at least get A level, maybe 2 if we're lucky from Thousand Needles. And then after that, I think we're going to Stranglethorn. I think we're going to start some of Stranglethorn. And as we remember from our rogue, a lot of Stranglethorn is like you do some of it. There's a lower end and a higher end. You do the lower end, you leave, and then you come back and finish up the higher end later. The higher end is more around like the 40 bracket. But the lower end is more around like low to mid 30s. So honestly, like 32 would be a perfect time to go out there, but at this point it's looking like we're going to go out there like 35, 36, maybe even 37. 37 would be bad though, because I think I'll be out leveled on a lot of the like starting quests, and by the starting quests I mean welcome to the jungle, the raptor hunting, the tiger hunting, right? And this just comes with the territory of like wanting to complete every zone, right? You're going to outlevel a lot of places. Please help me avenge Anelia's death, sorry. Sorry, I'm a SSF non-dungeon character. Best of luck, though. Thank you, kind dwarf. My sister's spirit is gladdened by your efforts. Alright, let's head over to Mistral Lake. I'll pause the video until we get over here, and then we'll use Dartol's Rod and become a Furbolg and see what's up. So I'll see you guys when we get over there. Just to save some time, I'm going to pause. So yeah, I'll see you in just a second. Alright, gamers. We have made it to the base of where Krolg is. I'm going to hold off on using Dartol's Rod for now. We'll just wait till we get up a little further. I think we have to go over here, following these torches. I imagine that's what we would have to do. I also imagine Krolg will be hostile, yes, if I don't have the rod on. So once we get across the lake, go ahead and pop it. Yes, yes, you are one of my kind, but still whole, still clean. Tin. I am unsure how you have escaped the atrocities the Night Elves have visited upon our people, but I am glad to know that I am no longer alone. Corruption now runs through the veins of our kin, young one. Corruption brought down upon us by the prideful Night Elves. They are the ones who did this to our people. They are the ones I blame for being cast out of my tribe. At night I can still see the campfires burning in the darkness. Sorry, this voice is like ruining my throat. The Night Elves are as old as time, but their arrogance destroys their very world, and now it destroys our lives too. But that can no longer be controlled. I blame the elves for much, but we are still responsible for our actions. Even beyond the corruption, we are capable of great evil. Ran Bloodtooth is one such evil. Power-hungry, lusting. The corruption has only made him stronger. My hatred for the elves burns, but I do not wish ill upon their children. So we must police our own. Kill Ron Bloodtooth and 4 Bloodtooth guards, and then return to Krolk. Where is this fella? Seems to be over here. Okay. A little bit of tin. A little less conversation, a little more action. Just a little 2-piece. So Ron's level 30, the others are level 27, 28. This shouldn't be too bad. We are 5% from level 35. Give or take 4,000 experience. Call it 5. Say we're at 58 and we need 63. So yeah, 5,000 experience. Alright, well the boys are right here, so let's go ahead and pop a seasoned wolf kebab, and I'll throw on another course, sharpening stone. Still have 6 minutes left on this power word fortitude, giving us 1772 as far as our health. Bloodtooth camp. I'm assuming our boy is up top. Pull 2 of these guys because, you know, we can. After all that, we took less than 20% health. I don't think I could use Dartol's Rod here because I think these Furbolgs are corrupted. I don't think they would recognize me as one of their own. I guess I can try. There's no harm in trying real quick, but it would be pretty cool if they did. There's Ron. Next to another guard. So I purposely wanted to pull the other blood guard, or blood tooth guard. It's nice, by the time that I kill one, usually Seal of the Crusader is almost about up, so I would have to cast a new one anyways, so that gives me the chance to then just go ahead and cast Seal of Light, judge it, and then do a new Crusader, right? And by the time that the fight is over, I should be pretty much capped out on my mana, my health is pretty much full. Another Consecrate. We'll let the mana regen here. We barely lost like 25% of our health here. Nice. We got a robust buckler of the owl. Doesn't look too crazy, but quarter of a gold right there. We'll go back to Krolg. And then I think he's got one more after this. That's the quest that we're not going to be able to do. But I'll do some more research on it and see if that's what it says. Thankfully, this is very close.
You've done well, my friend. The forest is still tainted, but at least we know we've done a small part to return it to its former glory. If you wish to return to me again, I would enjoy the company of my own kind. Be well. Perhaps our tribes will meet again under less violent times.
Ugh.
Return to your own tribe and let them know of your victory here. Show them your trophy and bask in the glory.
Bring Ron's skull and Dartal's rod to Renee Wolfrunner and Astronar. We would get a decent axe, I guess, or I could take the glacial stone. This thing's kind of cool. Blast the target for some frost damage. Could also get a ring of pure silver, which I don't really think I would take it. So basically half a gold. But this is going to require me to turn in the rod, and I want to keep this rod, honestly. So I think what we're going to do is abandon this quest and then hide it here. And now we'll just keep the rod. Renee never has to know. Now from here, I think we're going to go ahead and hearth really quickly just to save some time. It's not a very long route to run, but we're going to head up to Darnassus, I think, next. Goddess watch over you. That's what they always say. Don't we have a book here to read too? Yes, one. Let's go ahead and read that. I think we're going to come back here after this quest and this quest. But just in case, let's go ahead and read the book here. I think it's Sunwell, the Fall of Quel'Thalas, I think. Yes. Sunwell. The Fall of Quel'Thalas. And then we can remove this one from the macro. How many pages? 4. It's not bad at all. Though he had defeated all of the people he now saw as his enemies, Arthas was still haunted by the ghost of Kel'Thuzad. The ghost told Arthas that he needed to be revived for the next phase of the Lich King's plan. To revive him, Arthas needed to bring Kel'Thuzad's remains to the mystical Sunwell, hidden within the High Elves' eternal kingdom of Quel'Thalas. Arthas and his scourge invaded Quel'Thalas and laid siege to the elves' crumbling defenses. Sylvanas Windrunner, the Ranger General of Silvermoon, put up a valiant fight, but Arthas eventually eradicated the High Elf army and battled through to the Sunwell. In a cruel gesture of his dominance, he even raised Sylvanas' defeated body as a banshee, cursed to endless undeath in the service of Quel'Thalas' conqueror. Ultimately, Arthas submerged Kel'Thuzad's remains within the holy waters of the Sunwell. Although the potent waters of the eternity were fouled by this act, Kel'Thuzad was reborn as a sorceress lich. Resurrected as a far more powerful being, Kel'Thuzad explained that the next phase of the Lich King's plan. By the time Arthas and his army of the dead turned southward, not one living elf remained in Quel'Thalas. The glorious homeland of the High Elves, which had stood for more than 9,000 years, was no more. Damn. So that's kind of the origin of how Sylvanas went from High Elf, aka Blood Elf, to the Banshee Queen that leads
Where would you like to fly to?
the army of the Forsaken. She obviously hates Arthas, like with a burning passion. And that kind of is why later in the series she takes the Lich King's crown and then like shatters it, and the whole world gets flipped upside down. And remember, at that point, this is after the Sundering, right? The Well of Eternity, when Azeroth was one whole continent, the Sundering happens, breaks the entire continent into 4 different subsects. The High Elves and the now Night Elves, the Kaldori, disagree with the fact that they shouldn't use magic, right? Because the Elves eventually outlaw magic after the Sundering. They're like, this was fucked up. This was bad. This was evil. The High Elves disagree. They say it's their natural born right, so they kind of split off and go found Quel'Thalas right above Lordaeron. And they're there for like 9,000 years until Arthas arrives with his Scourge army to resurrect Kel'Thuzad in the Sunwell. Which the Sunwell is basically like a mini Well of Eternity. I think it's like it has the fraction of its power, but a lot of its power is from the fact that its origins were the Well of Eternity. I believe the story with the Sunwell is some of the waters from the Well of Eternity created the Sunwell, or the High Elves used that water to then create and nurture this new Well of Eternity, the Sunwell, right? Copper. Yep, of course. I don't know why I even checked. We're in Darkshore. Of course it's copper. It's always copper. I think we said Darnassus, right? And then, yeah. We'll come back here to Aberdeen, travel up north to Balthul, and hopefully finish up the Tower of Althalax. Doesn't say it's an elite quest for the next 2 chains here, so it shouldn't be too bad, but I'm assuming this chain is going to send us Valindi's Effects, the Baron's Port, Passage to Booty Bay, the Caravan Road, the Caravan Family, the Scythe of Elune, and Answered Questions. We know the Scythe of Elune and the Caravan Family are going to take us to Darkshire. Passage to Booty Bay, obviously we're going to Booty Bay. The Baron's Port, that has to take us to the Barons, so this should basically take us to the Barons, then take us to Booty Bay. From Booty Bay we'll go to Darkshire, and then I think we finish up this chain in Darkshire, getting the Scythe of Elune, and then answering the questions of like, what is the Scythe of Elune? Why was it? Hopefully we'll get these answers. Why was it in Darkshire? Excuse me, not Darkshore, Darkshire. Why has it brought the Worgen there, right? And then Ashenvale, pretty much these are the last 2 chains there. We're done with it. We're completely, finished with it, thankfully. Again, this area is high-level elites, like 63 plus elites for endgame raids. We're not going to worry about getting that explored. The same on our Undead Rogue. We didn't explore this one little corner because we know what that is, right? But there's going to be a lot of areas like that on all of my characters that I'm just like actively avoiding because it pretty much means death. Nick the Brick. Thank you. Whoops. Thank you. Everyone's so nice today. Give her a nod. All right, we're heading to Thintail Blade Weaver. What a name. Now remember, I would do some crafting here, but there are no, there's no anvils, there's no blacksmiths in Darnassus. The elves don't believe in that. Firaha. Final Fantasy player right there. Alright, I believe she's on the other side of this wall. Yes.
Valinda Starsong. That the priestess disappeared some time ago is almost certainly common knowledge. As to further details about the events that surrounded her departure, it would take good reason for me to divulge such information.
So maybe Valinda Starsong was the one that had the Scythe of Elune?
The Tome of Melthandris showed you this? I suppose there would be little harm in allowing you to examine her belongings. This key will allow you to open the chest where we stored her things in the Sentinel's bunkhouse. She kept a journal of her duties. If there is anything to be learned, it will be from that. I should tell you, the Sentinels believe that she had her own reasons for leaving and expect that she could return at any time. The priestess has done much in the past to earn our trust.
I don't like the way she talks. It's a little weird. Where's the Sentinel bunkhouse? All the way down here, okay. So I'm assuming we get to read her journal and then figure out what's going on with that. Plus, by the way, 35, that's huge. Another point in Redoubt. We will be respecking soon, so. Big thing though is we get the Moonberry Juice, a new drink that we get to drink. Restores our mana very quickly. Sentinel bunkhouse. I think I have to go up here through shields and mail armor. I'm gonna take a peek real quick and see if they sell anything like exotic or unique or on a cooldown or a timer, I should say. Doesn't look like it. What about shields? No. The heavy pavis. Pretty good shield, honestly. No stats, but... Valinda's locker. Valinda's journal. Alright, let's take a peek. 7 pages, not too bad.
Elune has granted my wishes. The lives of my fallen comrades will not be in vain, and I shall avenge their deaths using the Scythe of Elune. It's an ancient thing, a branch, twisted and gnarled of wood that could be older than even the Kaldori. For many hours I examined the tool that the goddess granted to me. It is no ordinary weapon, that's for certain, nor is it a simple magical implement. With it, it is as though the barriers of time and space are weakened. Holding the scythe in my hands, I received a vision of chaos. Wolfmen, the Worgen, battled an incredible enemy. The Worgen fought savagely, as fit their primitive race, but their enemy was unflinching, the Lords of the Emerald Flame. Who the hell are they? And that was when I realized the true power of the scythe. By focusing on it, I became able to communicate with the Worgen. It was not speech I used to contact them, however, it was something different. I could not describe it. What mattered was that the Worgen heard and understood me. By further channeling energy into the scythe, the barriers weakened more, and I was able to draw Worgen into our world. 1.5 scores I was able to summon in my first attempt. They followed me into battle, and with their brutish strength at my command, we tore into the demons of Felwood. Elune has granted my wishes. The forest will be cleansed. May Elune's blessing be upon me until my work is done. So she used the Scythe of Elune to try and cleanse Felwood of its demonic corruption, and obviously it got lost or in the wrong hands. Let me reread this again. All goes well. I have summoned larger numbers of Worgen to fight at my side. Though they are of simple mind, they have shown impressive ability to coordinate their attacks and function as a group. I have identified leaders in their packs. To them I have given command of small groups of warriors. We strike from my places in the forest at once. We strike from many places in the forest at once, and my campaign against the demons is a fruitful one. May Elun's blessing be upon me till my work is done. A pack is lost. I sent the Worgen to range through the forest and identify areas of demonic infestation, but they did not return. I began to worry about the leaders that I have entrusted control to. They are of simple mind, and this small bit of authority I have given them, they stretch to the utmost. Am I losing control? Perhaps I shall cease summoning additional Worgen for the time being. May Elun's blessing be upon me until my work is done. Though I have not summoned additional Worgen, their numbers continue to increase. It is as though the scythe no longer requires my intervention for summoning. This is troubling. I have gathered as many of the packs as I could find and ordered them to remain at the shrine of Melthandris. Meanwhile, I have searched the libraries in Darnassus and consulted with the Circle of Ancients in Darkshore. Not one scrap of information about these Worgen did I find. I have heard reports, whispers of a wizard of the Kirin Tor named Argul. From what I have heard, it is possible that he also summoned Worgen. I would consult with this wizard, distasteful as it may be, and see what he knows. The Worgen are dangerous, and I wish to stem the tide. On the morrow, I will travel to the port in the Barrens and book passage to the New World. May Elun's blessing be upon me until my work is done. Damn, so we know who she's talking about here. Argul. He's the wizard that is in Shadowfang Keep. And he's who, see, Archmage Argul. He's who's been casting the spell to summon warlocks, or not warlocks, sorry, Worgen in Silverpine Forest. When you play as a horde, you learn that if you pay attention to the story here in Silverpine Forest, he's been corrupting the lands. That's why there's so many Worgen out there, and you kind of learn that story, and ideally you do the whole zone, then you go into SFK and take him down and kind of resolve that issue. But he does have a cohort that's helping him out here on this island. What did you find out?
It seems that Velinde's disappearance is more troubling than it originally appeared. Even still, I cannot believe that she has come to a bad end. Perhaps it would be beneficial for us to make contact with her. Adventurer, since you have shown a vested interest in this matter, I would like to enlist your aid.
Of course.
Ratchet is the only port in the Barrens. Most likely Velinde found a trading vessel in Ratchet to take her to Blackwater Cove in Azeroth. We've had limited dealings with the goblins that run the port, but the master of the dock should have information about the comings and goings of ship passengers.
Blackwater Cove.
Follow the road southeast through Ashenvale, and you will find yourself in the Barrens. Watch your step, adventurer. Warriors of the Horde patrol the land. You will be safe at the port, though.
Right. We know about the dangers of the Barrens. Thankfully, we have the flight path there, but we'll handle that in the coming future. We're heading out to Aberdeen now. We'll go talk to Balthul. And just to save some time, I think I'm going to pause while we fly over there, and then I run up here. I'll resume when we're right outside near Balthul, so I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright, gamers, we are just pulling up to our old friend Balthul. We've helped him out in the past before.
It's good to see you again, adventurer.
You too, old friend.
Strangest things have been happening around here. I'm glad you showed up. It was very strange, adventurer. Everything seemed normal. Well, as normal as things get around here.
Then things got
And
strange.
Suddenly there was a blinding flash of light from the upper room of the tower. Then came the screams. The cries split the air and lightning struck the ground from time to time. What's going on?
Frankenstein?
I see. Well, if what you say is true, then now is the time to strike. I believe Athricus resides at the top of the tower. Be careful, though. He is surrounded by many powerful warlocks, much more deadly than the ones you faced before.
Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. We finally get to kill Athricus, but it sounds like he's surrounded by a bunch of warlocks, and I don't like the sound of that. It's Nick the Brick! Hopefully we can at least, like, pull a few away, handle a few of them on our own. Copper, we'll leave those for lower level players like Nick. Gonna get ready to eat another seasoned wolf kebab and throw on a sharpening stone. Level 28. I think we start with their void walkers. Kill their pets first. Check for treasure too. There is a battered chest right here. Didn't even see it. It blended right in. And it's garbage. Let her patrol away and then we go for this. Switch to you now. Not sure if I've ever done this quest chain, so I don't know how difficult this is going to be, but I guess we'll see. Alright, we'll let AoE work on the Void Walker at this point. No need to run, lady, no need to run. Exercise it. Fight our way up the tower. I don't like how they just run away from you like that. Stop moving. Alright, let's go ahead and cast a... save my mana, use a big one here, and then we'll drink some of this moonberry juice for the first time. Let's see how fast we get our mana back. About 10 seconds to completely get all of my mana back. Be on the lookout for books here too. I doubt there would be... Well, maybe I don't doubt. I could definitely see there being some books here. I need to be careful here though. Oh, see, I don't like this. I don't think I pulled another one, but just in case. Yeah, see, that was a little dicey. What I think we do, and there's Athricus, he's a night elf. I think we pull one of you down the stairwell. She's not going to be able to cast unless I get her down the stairwell, yeah. Oh, fuck me. Let's pull these two back down. Deal with her Void Walker first here too. And let her keep her range so she just keeps casting here. Go ahead and front load the mana. See, I don't even think this is considered like running in fear, unfortunately. So I can't even like Seal of Justice them. I think they're just trying to get out of their like dead zone, even though they're not hunters. Now, I wonder if I can pull them without pulling him. He's just a regular old mob. He doesn't really like do any casting or anything like that. It's these two, and honestly, if I'm gonna pull any of them, I think she has a little bit of a better chance. Alright, we didn't grab him. I'm gonna try and pull her down the stairs. Beautiful. At least I can kind of like lightly manipulate the way that she runs. Alright, now I think we actually Zerg him down. Maybe I can even pull him without pulling the other. Surely you see me, right? There you go. Just look around real quick, see if there's any books. I don't see anything in here. Even on this table, I'm not really seeing anything. Yeah, this really isn't bad. I'm basically at full health. Yeah, finished the fight at 100% health because of Seal of Light. I actually love it, man. Journal page. Oh, it's in Elvish. I can't read it. Damn, I want to do this quest on a Night Elf character now. And of course we will once I eventually play my my Night Elf Druid. And our Night Elf Rogue, of course, but... Alright, there doesn't appear to be any books here that we can actually read, so... I think we're all done in here. Seems like the exit's right here. Maybe I can just... Hey, we did. Nice. I don't even mind if I pull you. Really, lady? Okay, I didn't think so. Athricus Narasin is an ancient and powerful warlock. Perhaps we should wait for Delgrin's assistance, but he obviously hasn't had much faith in... Sorry, he obviously had much faith in you to send you alone.
With the death of Athricus, I hope that the demonic forces in this area will be driven back. I have no doubt that they will regroup and return, but then we shall be even more prepared to meet their threat.
Aye.
For all the work that you have done, you deserve to be well rewarded. Return to Delgrin and tell him that Athricus Narasin lies stilled by your hand, and the cult of the Dark Strand is beaten and scattered.
This is such a sick sword. Look at this. Seraph Strike. The stats on it, pretty awful. 10 Spirit, 3 Strength. Damage is solid, but visually it looks so cool, man. This little blue crystal on the hilt. The little blue ribbons wrapped around the blade there, and the fact that it's like a long but thin sword. Sells for 60 silver. Very, very cool. Right, I think we're going to... I can't hearth to Ashtanar. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fly to Ashtanar and run up to Maestra's post and then run back, and then we'll catch the boat. But in the meantime, I'm going to pause the video just to save some time and run back to Aberdeen myself, then fly, and we'll resume when we get to Delgrin. So I'll see you guys again in just a second. All right, gamers, we've just arrived at Delgrin, and exciting news. While we were in Aberdeen, I remembered that there is a clan of dwarves there with an anvil and a smith and stuff, and I went ahead and made our green iron helmet. So we finally have our helmet. I sold our other one, smelted down the rest of our materials, sitting on 20 bronze bars, 13 iron bars, 8 more heavy grinding stones. Yeah, so let's talk to Delgrin real quick.
I knew you would be up to the task, adventurer. I sense great deeds before you, and that you will right many of the wrongs that plague our lands. Bear my blessings, adventurer, as well as this gift.
Ah, thank you, sir. I don't know what kind of accent that was. All right. I think that's everything done in Ashenvale. Very nice. I can actually take this quest from Reslik? That's insane. So yeah, now I think we're gonna head down to the Barrens and catch a... Well, we'll need to continue on with this quest chain. I'm assuming we're gonna go from the Barrens to Booty Bay, and then from Booty Bay to possibly Darkshire, and finish up this quest chain. And then once we're done in Darkshire, of course we still have Sven's quest to take on. We need to take on Morladim, which we could probably take him on now. He is level 35 elite, but the fact that he's undead and the fact that I have Seal of Light, if I can get him alone without any mobs around him, I feel pretty confident that I could take him on. He has a high health pool, but I think we could handle it. I might be wrong about that. I might have to stun him and run, but... So yeah, we still have some more stuff to do here in Darkshire before we're completely done, Duskwood. And then after that, I think we're actually going to go to Stranglethorn and start working on Barnhill, Welcome to the Jungle. We'll take some of these starter quests up here. And then we have some other stuff down here in Booty Bay itself to take, as well as starting Thousand Needles. And of course, we need to go turn these quests in at Theramore, so we have a lot to do. Plus, we're getting close to being able to start Duskwood, or not Duskwood, Desolus, excuse me. There are some low-level quests here, 31, 33, 35 seems to be like the others, 39. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of jumping around from here on. So let's catch a boat down to Ratchet. Or not a boat, sorry, a flight path to Ratchet. Brain is not working right now. This is going to be a long flight, because as you can see, we have to go all the way up to Aberdeen, then down to Theramore, and then up. Maybe we just go to Theramore real quick, and then we'll go to... Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Theramore real quick, and then we'll go to Ratchet. Since this is going to take so long while we fly, I'm going to pause the video just to try and save some time, and I will resume when we're in Theramore, and then from Theramore we'll fly to Ratchet. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright gamers, we are just getting to Theramore. Man, that's such a long flight. It's insane how brutal it is to travel around Kalimdor as the Alliance. But either way, we're here. I could catch a boat from here back to Menethil, but since we need to go to Ratchet anyways and talk to Dizzywig again, to continue on with this chain, I think we're just going to go to Ratchet, catch the boat to Booty Bay, because clearly we need to go there. And then, yeah, I think we're going to go to... At this point, I should probably head back and start working on these quests. Just get them done. Wait, real quick, let's sell this Seraph Strike. It's a cool blade, but... Yeah, I think we're going to finish up with... I think we'll finish up with Darkshire, aka Duskwood, and then we'll head back into Red Ridge and take on these few elite quests that we've left. Gafflezog, Shadow Magic, Sterile Zune. I should be good to handle those. If not, possibly level 40. It should be pretty damn secure. Let me poke around here and just see if there's any books. Obviously a little barracks area. That's where the chef is. Another barracks area. Trauma surgeon.
Greetings, adventurer. I'm Dr. Gustav Van Housen, head trauma surgeon of Alliance Trauma.
So Gustav Van Housen's probably going to be the guy that teaches us how to become a expert in first aid. Peter Verens, weapons and armor smith. Sells 2 of the executioner swords and stocking pants. Torque Iron Blast, he's a gunsmith, doesn't really sell anything for us. Anything downstairs? That's cool. No, another kind of like prison area. Very similar to the keep in Menethil. Now Jaina should be up, no, she's probably in the main Citadel. We've went and talked to Jaina for Children's Week, that's right. I actually don't think I went the right way. What am I doing? I'm not locked in. Up here. Lendley.
James Heil. Why does that name sound so familiar? Of course, the Shady Rest Inn incident. If you have any information about what happened there, I would urge you to speak with Captain Vimes about it. He's handling the investigation.
Aye, Captain Vimes. Can I read any of these? No.
Greetings. The Guards of Theramore are the finest group of Alliance soldiers based in Kalimdor. It is our duty to uphold the laws of the Alliance even so far away from our homes. We don't know much about the burning of the Shady...
Sorry.
The Guards of Theramore are the finest...
What have you heard about the Shady Rest Inn? Why do I always... My dwarf just becomes pirate. I can't really do a good Scottish...
We don't know much about the burning of the Shady Rest Inn, except that James Heil's wife and child were unable to escape.
Oh, that's horrible.
We managed to drag James out, but he hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, I mean, can you blame him?
We have many leads, but not much evidence. It is our hope that through the efforts of the Guard and the vigilant help of the people of Theramore, we will unravel this terrible crime. If you would like to lend assistance to the investigation, what remains of the inn can be found at the border to the Barrens.
So we actually did the other half of this quest, at least the Horde side of this quest, on our Undead Rogue, and we got to see kind of the counterpoint of it. So I'm very, very curious to see what's going on via the Alliance side and see how, obviously, Lieutenant Pavel Reith is, you know, not a good guy from what we know about on with our Undead Rogue. But yeah, we'll go investigate the Shady Inn in a little bit. Hey, it's Non-Stash. We've seen this guy before.
A pleasure to meet you, adventurer. I am Commander Samal. I'm in charge of Miss Proudmoore's forces here in Theramore. Although I'm quite busy, if you have any questions, please feel free to speak up. I might have to keep it short, but there's no reason for me to be rude if you need my help. If you plan on traveling out of the city, I'd suggest you be careful. Besides ogres, orcs, and murlocs, the southern part of the swamp is filled with black dragons.
We're looking for a missing diplomat.
Hendel, yes, I know the man. But why would you need one of my soldiers? Elling sent you to find him? I don't like the sound of that. Elling wouldn't have you come to me first if your business wasn't troubling. I understand if you can't tell me what this is about, but know this. I have a duty to protect these lands. If you're going to cause a disturbance, then I suggest you inform me of whatever you can.
We're looking for the king, motherfucker.
Stationed at the first tower outside of Theramore. Be cautious.
Something's going on. The king's been kidnapped. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. Just point me in the right direction. Okay. Next, we need to go talk to Fiora Longears and High Perch Venom. We'll take that quest. What do we have over here? Red team captain, blue team captain? We playing some dodgeball or something? Any of these books? No. Couple guards. Oh, it's literally like a battle. Blue team versus red team. That's kind of cool. Smiling Jim.
He'll bring you mead. He'll bring you beer. A grinning face from ear to ear. He's served us all from year to year. We call him Smiling Jim.
I like the way that rhymed. We call him Smiling Jim. Alright, what's the name of this inn here? Zinxie.
Looking for something specific? Farewell.
We are in... It doesn't have a name, I guess. Fiora Longears. Good day to you. You were sent by Mr. Flint in Menethil Harbor. Well, Mr. Flint is a strong judge of character. If he sent you, then there's no doubt you belong here in Kalimdor. If you're fresh off the boat from Menethil, then the first thing you should do is go to Astronar. Oh, not Astronar, bro. We were just there. I'm sure, as an eager member of the Alliance, you can do some real good there. Speak with Shindrel Swiftfire and offer your services, but don't bother mentioning who sent you. Shindrel does not know me. As you may know, wyverns are often tamed by orcs for use as mounts, but what is less known is that the venom of a wyvern in some circles is more valuable than the beast itself. So if you're not afraid to do a little wyvern hunting, then I have a job for you. There's a place called High Perch in the Land of 1,000 Needles, west of here. The High Perch wyverns have a potent venom, potent and valuable. Nice little belt, 10 silver. Whenever we do eventually go to 1,000 Needles, which will be pretty soon, we'll have the opportunity to crank that out. Let me just poke around and see if there's any books here. Ingu, Sarah Pierce and Amy Pierce. Books all over the table, but none that I can read. And then Donnie Pierce and Mickle Pierce. Maybe they're a family trying to escape, or maybe they're just on vacation here. No books, though. Hold off on the rest of those quests. Let's pop outside real quick and just finish up this this quest here, the Missing Diplomat. And then, like we said, we're going to head to Ratchet, then to Booty Bay, and then probably Stormwind for the rest of the night. I might go ahead and just go respec now, spend some time respecing, and wrap it up in Stormwind, and then tomorrow when we play, we'll go back into Duskwood and, you know, hopefully do Morbid Fell, do more Ladim, finish this quest with the Scythe of Elune and kind of get to the bottom of that, figure out what's going on there. And then, as we said, after that, we'll go start some of Stranglethorn and juggle between Stranglethorn and 1,000 Needles, I think are the two zones that we're going to be juggling between. Century Point. It's really cool to be playing on the Alliance now, though, and all of these were hostile as a Horde player, so now, you know, we kind of get to see the other end of it. Archmage Turbish.
Well met, adventurer. We must be brief because there is much to do. The man you seek, the one known as Hendel, is not here. Other sources have brought to the Lady Proudmoore information I believe you already know. She has asked me to find you and give you aid in your venture. If you would allow it, I will tell you where to find Private Hendel so we can bring him to justice.
Uh-oh, seems like Hendel was kind of a leading man behind it.
Private Hendel is to the west of here. He's currently on guard duty protecting some of Theramore's infiltrators while they rest. They've been keeping tabs on the Horde base, Brackenwall, and looking for anything else that might threaten our borders. You should have no problem finding him. Just look for the tents along the road. I have another matter to attend to, but I shall catch up to you soon enough. You can always find me in the Lady Proudmoore's tower if you have any problems.
So if I need another one of his buffs, apparently I could just go to her tower and get one. Because we're not going there right now, I don't think. But, yeah, it's up here. This will be a quest that I kind of want to take on at a little bit of a higher level, just in case there's a lot of mobs that come out or anything like that. But it is a pretty cool buff. 40 extra armor, which is like negligible, but 10 stamina, that's an extra 100 health, right? I feel like I could survive that fall, but I don't want to push it. We are on hardcore, and I would hate to do something dumb like that. Alright, back to Theramore for now, and then we are flying to Ratchet. Answered questions. I'm very, very invested in this quest chain by now. I really want to figure out what's going on and get to the bottom of it. Nice moon. Thought I saw a dragon silhouette above me, but I mean, we are in Theramore, so Dust Wallow. We know that this is where Onyxia's lair is. Her entire brood is basically down here, so. See? Some kind of like bird silhouette in the air. Wait, non-stash, let me give you another one. Good to see you safe, friend. Hope to see you again in the future. Yeah, we've seen non-stash a few times in this playthrough. I love, one of the things that I love about hardcore is I'll see some players like when I'm playing my character and when I'm out in the world doing my thing, and then as I progress, I'll still see those same players like in the future, and it's really cool to see like other people throughout your entire journey. I don't know why, but I think it's really, really cool.
Where would you like to fly to?
Where would you like to fly to? We're going to Ratchet. Like, I remember a handful of characters when I was on my rogue. I can't remember them now, of course, because it's been, 6+ months at this point, but I remember being on my rogue and seeing certain characters and being like, oh, look who it is, I remember there was specifically one of these, like a troll that I saw a few times, and I would always kind of like talk to him, wave at him. But it's just things like that that I think are really, really cool. Elder Merc Thresher. It's kind of a nasty island. Bet you there's a treasure chest out there, though. I think I saw it with my find treasure dwarven ability. Might even be one over there. If I got a little closer, I could see it, but... yeah, there's probably... oh, man. Pools of fish all over the place. This place is probably just a smorgasbord of chests, pools of fish. Let's see if there's anything along the coast. Might be too far to see it spawn, but not seeing any floating wreckage. Not even that many pools of fish. And there's usually a ton, so maybe someone came through here and fished them all up. Usually, well, there's one. Usually by the time that you get to the end, heading back up, some have respawned. And it is kind of getting late. It's, midnight. A little later than midnight, but... we'll be getting ready to wrap this one up here soon. To be back in Ratchet. There is a bank here, so let's go ahead and deposit all this stuff. And by all this stuff, it's mostly the iron and the rare gems. Let's make some pants while I'm here. 6, 12, 18. That'll leave us with 2 extra. This is 30 silver worth of items, plus the silver that we'll get for these excess bronze bars that I'll just go ahead and sell. Up to 21.75. Talk to our old friend Killix, see if he has anything new or valuable. Not really. We still haven't really even used any of our aqua dynamic fish lenses, but looks like the boat is coming. Yes.
Person, eh? Must admit, we don't get much of your type out here. Looking for someone, eh? Just give me a moment. I'm
Hey.
sure I have it written in one of my ledgers. A lot of people travel through here, though, so just give me a moment. Ah, yes. Finally found it. Should have told me she passed through here that long ago. Let's see. Valindi. Booked passage to Booty Bay on the Black Osprey. I don't have anything here saying
That's the name of this
otherwise,
boat.
so
I actually never
assume it
did that.
arrived in port safely. Not much more help I can be to you. But she asked about overland travel over on that side of the world, and I mentioned Ruzgot, a caravan driver based out of Booty Bay. Might be that this Valinde traveled with him. Move along now. I haven't all day for you.
Perfect timing. So the Black Osprey. I've traveled on this boat so many times and I never actually knew the name of it. It's the Black Osprey. Very cool. Let's see what kind of health we get with a seasoned wolf kebab. We're sitting at no priest buff. We're at 1700 with... I mean, we do have Proudmoore's defense, but this puts us at 1761. It's insane. I'm level 35 and I almost have the same health that my rogue had at fucking 60. But then again, my rogue was not, you know, I was actively sacrificing stamina for agility and strength. Let's have a drink. Standard alcohol, aka Skin of Dwarven Stout. I like that it's just called standard alcohol. We're feeling tipsy. More beer. Drink 5 of these bad boys. It's not even gonna get us drunk. Still just tipsy. 5 will be good for now. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. You know, we're just a little tipsy dwarf on a boat traveling the open waters. They hit that Russian jig right there. Ooh. Get it, baby. Ooh. Come on. Uh-huh. Okay. The Black Osprey. I think we'd probably get off on this side. We got on that side. I think we get off on this side. Looking for a Caravaneer Ruzgot. He's the one that gives you the Captain's Chest quest, which we did on our rogue. It was pretty tricky. I had to kite him around, but maybe on a Paladin, if I'm level like 50, I could solo that quest. That's so nice of you, bro. Look at this. 42! That's gonna make my max health insane.
Yes.
And spirit by 23. Like good lord, bro.
That need shipping, so either you're looking for a job with my caravan, and there's no jobs to be had now, or you're probably talking to the wrong goblin. So, which one is it? Turns out I was wrong about you, and that isn't something that happens every day. It just so happens that I remember this Valinde you're looking for. Isn't every day that a night elf priestess that wants to travel with a dirty old, but great for your shipping needs, caravan like my own? We split up on the way north.
I love the goblins.
She was headed for Darkshire. The clerk there keeps all sorts of records. Might know something useful. Be careful in the jungle. It is a deadly place even at the best of times.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. All right. Check in here real quick. It's like sometimes they have some unique items like these.
Well met.
Oh, a Moonsteel broadsword. That looks sick. It's not very good, honestly, spirit stamina. But we're definitely going to pick it up because it is, you know, we talk about this all the time. There's not very many, like, unique plans for blacksmithing that we can find. So that's a cool pickup right there. It also might sell for a good bit. A whole gold piece, but need heavy leather, a good bit of moonstone, steel, which is easy to make. You just need coal, I believe. Okay, we don't know Sagefish Delight, so this is nice. Better mana, it's the raw greater Sagefish. We don't know the clam Scorchos, we'll pick that up. And then the rest, I think I'll get these two later. Glossy Mitefish. That's going to give me 10 stamina. Not spirit though, which kind of sucks.
What are you looking for? The Alliance.
This is an 8 stamina food though, and I don't think we have those, so giant clam Scorcho. Giant clam meat. I think we've had some of that before. Talk to Hemming real quick. And of course the Sagefish Delight, 6 mana. It's kind of nice. We already have our strong fishing pole. There's a lot of books here in Booty Bay. I know that from my rogue. We did a lot of reading here. I probably won't even really run around and check until we're here for good. But I know in here alone, there's got to be at least like. Let's add it to the list. I know we haven't read The Twin Empires, Empire's Fall, or Wrath of the Soulflare. Yep, so that's 3 at least. Whoops, I can't look at auctions. The Scourge of Lordaeron, we've read that. Yep. Let's continue on. We'll come back. Not worried about taking these quests just yet. Blade Trader, do you have anything cool? No. Flamberg. Let's check the books in here. Oh no. What happened? That's scary. I need to get the hell out of here. Take 5 more of these bad boys. We've read that. I just recently read that. So maybe it's not as many books as I thought. Maybe it's just 3. Beyond the Dark Portal, have we read that one? Yes, we have. Okay. There are definitely some quests here that we want to do, but we have other areas that have lower level quests that we need to do first, so we'll be back for Booty Bay in the near future. Swish Chad. Yeah, you can tell he buys gear. BOE. Probably got someone to help him get the Whirlwind Axe, and then he's got Fiery on it. Of the Tiger BOE with enchants. BOE, really good gloves. Really good pants that he probably bought. BOE. Yeah, that guy buys gear.
Fastest Griffins this side of Airy Peak. Want to take a ride?
Want to take a ride on my...
Fastest Griffins this side of Airy Peak.
We're going to
Wanna
Stormwind.
take a ride?
Sucks that I'm going to kind of waste some of these priest buffs, but it's very rare that a level 60 priest will buff me. I want to see, I think I can log off instantly while I'm flying. I can. And I want to see what my rogue's max health was real quick. Unbuffed, I'm pretty sure he was at like 2,000 health or so. I like to keep the other characters that we haven't started, like, completely never logged in. Okay, so 20, 28, 25, no, 28.55 was our max health. And then with a hot wolf rib, we'll eat one of these. Let's see what we get to. I've left him in one of the coffins that we usually would log out in. So almost 3k, okay. So I still need another like 1,000 to be where my rogue is on my dwarf. So we're still a ways away. We haven't completely mogged the rogue. But my dwarf is a little tanky fella. I like him a lot. I've come to love him. I'm going to try and immediately... Oh, okay. We're going to try and immediately go to the Paladin trainer when we touch down in Stormwind. Get our respec going, and then head to the inn and just log off for the night so I can keep this buff as long as I can heading into tomorrow. It'd be really nice to keep these and go do Morladim and Morbin Fell. These are two pretty difficult elite quests from what I've gathered of them. And with these buffs, it would be really nice, especially with Proudmoore Defense and these two. But again, I don't know how much time I'm going to have left on these. That sucks. There's some iron in there that I would love. If I had more time tonight in our session, I would just head straight to Darkshire and take Morladim and at least go get him. Morbin Fell, I'm honestly more worried about that one because I do have a special item for him, and I'm worried that he's surrounded by other mobs that are going to protect him. Morladim is kind of out in the open, and I can pull him away from some of the other mobs. I'm not too worried about that. What level are these trolls? 33. They're like perfect for me right now, so. And then there's iron in these hills as well. Here, Alterac Valley and Thousand Needles are probably the best areas right now, the best 3 areas for me to gather iron, as well as South Shore. I bet you South Shore, Hillsbrad, Foothills is pretty good for iron as well. But I have a feeling that more tin will be here than iron because it is more of like a lower level horde zone. It's more of a higher level alliance zone, weirdly enough, but I think we're gonna talk to our Paladin trainer in Stormwind and then fly to Darkshire, and we'll log off here for the night. That way, as soon as I start tomorrow, I can take Morladim. We'll turn in this quest with Daltrey, see what's going on. We're getting close to the end of this chain, and then from here we'll head out, go take on Morladim, and then talk to Sven. And then after Morladim and Sven, we'll do Morbin Fell. That's 4,000 experience there. This one is 2,000 experience there, and then this chain is another 6,000, 7,000 experience here. It's a good chunk to get towards 36. I'm leveling up so fast on this character that I'm not even like really paying attention. I know for me specifically in Classic WoW, like I can tune out the first 25 ish levels, maybe even all the way up to 30, and then I feel like you hit this point where it starts to really slow down because of course you're starting to get into the middle and the end game, right? But the first like few levels, the dopamine is just go, you know, you're getting level after level. It feels quick, you're getting a constant stream of upgrades, every slot feels very important, you know what I mean? But the mid game to the late game is where I'll like hit the hurdle where I like have to persevere through it, and like especially 40 to 60 is the hardest part for me. I have a lot of characters that I'll get to like mid 30s, mid 40s, and then I like put them down and I'll go start another character, right? And I've talked about that on my rogue. But one thing that I really like about doing this series is it kind of holds me to one character until I finish them, and then we get to start another character. Because if I was jumping around on a bunch of different characters, we would just be completely lost and be like, what was I doing on this guy? What was I doing there? It just wouldn't really work. But I say that because I've just been having so much fun on this character that I haven't really even noticed the hurdle yet, or it hasn't hit yet. I've just been working on progressing through maps and different zones and the lore of what's going on and why I'm doing what in specific zones and how do they tie into other areas. And all of a sudden, you know, we're 35, 5 levels away from our mount, 20 levels away from being done with the character. And we're not even 60 episodes in, you know what I mean? All right, our Paladin trainer is in here, Grayson Shadowbreaker. I think it's going to cost me a gold to respec, but that's fine.
May the light protect you this day. Through rigorous retraining, I have had to break many students of all they had previously learned, so that may the light protect you this day.
Thank you, Grayson. All right. So obviously we're going to go back into Holy and pick up Divine Strength and Spiritual Focus. Just so good. And of course, Consecrate. That puts it back on our action bar, level 2. And then I think we go into... I think we're going to go Benediction, Improved Seal of Crusader. And now with the rest of the points, we go Redoubt, and then Precision, Precision, 1 more point in Precision on our next level up. And then the next 2 points will go into Toughness. So we'll go 1 here, 2 here, that'll unlock the next row. We'll go 3 here, 2 more in here, that'll unlock the next row. Then we go 3 here, 1 more here, 1 more here. Then we go 5 in Reckoning, 5 in One-Handed Spec. And then everything else is just kind of like extra at that point. I think we get some extra points that we could throw into possibly... I'm not sure.
These great beasts know paths that you can't find on foot. They'll get you there fast and maybe show you something new at the same time.
Blessing of Sanctuary, it seems kind of like a bait for me. Holy Shield is good, but it's really only good when I'm tanking a bunch of mobs, and that's why Protection Paladins are really good AoE tanks. They're not good like boss tanks, but they do a very good job at holding multiple mobs, keeping the aggro on them, and then blocking multiple attacks. Holy Shield is nice for that. But I don't think I need Blessing of Sanctuary or Holy Shield. I think I just want like the increased damage with one-handers, obviously Reckoning. Alright, we have 17 minutes left on these buffs, and we're about to touch down. It'll probably be like 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to be speedy with it tomorrow. Immediately head to Morladim. We won't have it for Morbid Fell, though. That's the thing. And I think I actually get more experience out of Morbid Fell than I do Morladim, which makes me think Morbid Fell is actually a harder quest. But I'll do some research on both of them tonight after we get off, and that way I'll just be a little prepared for it, because we did do a elite quest over here that was a little dicey. We had to take down Abercrombie's wife, and that was a little sketchy. I didn't know, I wasn't prepared for bodyguards to come out with her. It was like 1 level 32 elite or something like that, and then 3 normal mobs. It kind of got dicey. Alright, let's immediately head to the inn. We've officially lost Seal of Command. It's been fun, I liked it, but I'm enjoying my Sword and Shield playstyle more now. What do we have here? Slip. Let's talk to Daltrey real quick.
With all the strange happenings of the last few years, I keep as good records of strangers as I can. Never know when it might come in handy, though it's usually not pleasant business when it does. Not to suggest anything about this Valinda you're looking for.
Listen, we know about all the corruption going on here, okay?
No. I don't have any records of a Valind Star song staying in Darkshire. Though if you don't mind me saying, I can hardly imagine a night elf priestess taking a room in the inn, if you get my meaning. These wolf men you mentioned, though, that's something I've heard about. Just the other day, Kaller came into town with a string of their heads. He works with the Caravine family, hunters of demons, undead, and other monstrosities. Speak with Jonathan. He's the head of the household.
Listen, we know all about them, okay? We've worked with them. We've helped them. We are kind of like an honorary member. Jonathan, my man. Kaller?
Dark times? These are. Ill news is whispered from every swaying branch, and evil can be found under every rock. And in such times an unknown stranger enters my home and asks of Worgen. I'll ask no forgiveness for my suspicions, only answers. And answers I will have.
Listen,
Your
you know
story
me, bro.
rings true. I do not entirely understand your motives, but if your business here in Duskwood involves ridding the forest of Worgen in any number, then I can forego understanding for results. There is a mine to the south that has been overrun with Worgen. They appeared out of nowhere, but from what we know, that is where they first were found. Go about your business, but I would ask that if you find anything of import, you share it with me. We will accept any aid in our war against evil.
Of course, Jonathan, of course. Alright, let's hit the bed. We'll accept Morladim tomorrow, that way we know. It's kind of like a firm reminder to me to get to it immediately. I need to be fast with that, so we'll take the small bed tonight. Rebuff, sleep, and we're gonna call it here, guys. I want to thank you for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one tomorrow afternoon before I go to work, so see you there. Peace and love, and God bless, gamers.